What if I told you the world you live in was never outside of you? What if I told you that the empire you crave, the life you want, the power you long to possess, wasn't out there waiting to be found, but inside waiting to be seen? The man who rules his vision rules his future. The one who commands the image he holds in his mind commands the world, because the truth is simple. What you picture you possess, and what you refuse to picture you silently surrender. That's not motivational fluff, that's law, the kind of law Edison obeyed when he saw light in his mind long before the world ever saw a bulb, the kind of law that lifted Lincoln from a dirt floor cabin to the presidency, the kind of law Disney followed when he looked out over a swamp and saw a kingdom of magic. They didn't just hope, they didn't just work, they pictured, they visualized with unrelenting clarity, then stepped into what they saw as if it already existed, because to them it did. The problem isn't the world, the problem is the picture. You've been told to hustle harder, grind more, stay busy, but no one told you that vision comes first, that imagination is not a luxury, it's a weapon. That every architect draws the blueprint before the bricks ever get laid. So the question isn't, what do you want? It's, what do you see? Because nothing in your life will rise above the image you hold in your mind. Every building begins with a picture, not a hammer, not a budget, not a crew, a vision. The mind is the architect, the world is just the clay, and your thoughts are the chisel that shape the stone. But here's the tragedy. Most people walk through life building skyscrapers out of fear, cathedrals of limitation. They don't hold pictures of greatness. They hold portraits of mediocrity handed down by parents, teachers, society, etched into their consciousness by failures they never learned from and rejections they never healed from. And because they picture limitation, they live limitation, because the subconscious cannot reject an image. It doesn't argue, it accepts. So when you constantly replay failure, scarcity, rejection, doubt, guess what becomes your default setting? Exactly that. You become a walking blueprint of everything you don't want, simply because no one taught you to design what you do want. No one taught you that the mind obeys the master that dares to draw deliberately. So take the pen back, rip the old blueprints, burn them if you must, because the first rule of power is this: if you don't control the picture controls you. When Carnegie built his empire of steel, he didn't wait for proof. He believed. When Ford dreamed of a gasoline engine built by common men on an assembly line, everyone laughed. But Ford believed. When opera stood in front of a broken life, an abused past, a skin tone the world devalued, she believed anyway. Belief is not naive. Belief is not denial. Belief is ownership before evidence. To believe is to see in the absence of sight, to feel in the absence of form. It is the divine act of creation, reserved for those bold enough to call the invisible real. The masses wait to believe after they see, but the great ones, they believe, and then the world is forced to catch up. Your life becomes a mirror of your belief system, period. If you believe you're average, the world confirms it. If you believe you're forgotten, you'll be ignored. But if you believe, truly believe, that you were born to build, that your life carries weight, that you are here for something enormous, the world can't help but bend toward your conviction. Belief is the trigger, belief is the switch, belief is the gate that unlocks the flood of power within. So I'll ask you again, what do you believe? Because you'll never receive more than you believe you deserve. Try to build a house without a plan. Watch the chaos unfold. Now try to build a life without clarity, and watch your soul rot in confusion. Most people aren't failing because they're incapable. They're failing because they're unclear. They're chasing success, but couldn't define it if you pressed them. They're running toward wealth, but they don't even know how it looks, how it feels, how it breathes. They've been sold on vague dreams. Be successful, be happy, get rich, but they never took the time to carve those dreams into detail, so their energy is scattered. Their decisions are cloudy, and they wonder why the universe keeps sending mixed results. Vague intentions create vague outcomes. That's not philosophy, that's mechanics. A missile doesn't hit a target unless it has coordinates, and your mind is no different. Clarity is your targeting system. Clarity tells your thoughts where to go, your energy what to fuel, your actions what to create. Don't just wish for wealth. Define what it looks like. Don't just desire love. Describe the exact feeling of the relationship you crave. Don't just want to make an impact. Tell your mind how, where, and why. Because once you define the picture, your mind must move toward it. The clearer the vision, the stronger the magnet. When Walt Disney walked into an empty lot in Florida, he didn't see land, he saw a world. He saw castles and parades and children laughing. He saw families making memories. He saw something no one else could see, and then he built it. That is vision, that is power. The eyes in your head will always lie to you. They see limits, they see what's missing, they see what others say is real. But the eyes of your mind, those are the ones that build. Vision is the internal kingdom that eventually rules the external. It is the throne room of all creation, and you must protect it, because the world is trying to hijack it every day. Scrolling news feeds, loud opinions, toxic people. They are all graffiti artists tagging your inner canvas. They blur the image, they fog the lens. You must become the guardian of your vision. Wake up each day and see it again, even if it hasn't arrived, even if the bank account says no, even if the world says never. See it anyway, because vision doesn't wait for permission. It demands allegiance, and when the vision is held long enough, strong enough, clear enough, it manifests, not through magic, but through mind, through motion. Through alignment of your beliefs, emotions, and actions with the picture you refuse to let go of. Hold the vision, obey the picture, let the world rearrange itself around your clarity, because that's how power works. Without purpose, even the clearest vision crumbles. Purpose is the why beneath the what. It is the engine behind the image. You can have a vivid picture of success, of freedom, of wealth. But if there is no purpose behind it, your motivation will die the moment resistance shows up. Because resistance will show up, always, and when it does, your purpose is what decides if you retreat or rise. Napoleon Hill wrote that definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. Why? Because purpose anchors the picture. Purpose gives it roots. It fuses vision with fire. Look at every empire, every revolution, every movement that changed history. It was driven by purpose. MLK had a dream. But he also had a purpose. Mandela had a vision, but it was fueled by purpose. So if your vision doesn't make you emotional, if it doesn't light a fire in your gut, dig deeper. You were not born for passive goals. You were born to burn for something. Find that flame, fan it. Let it heat your image into something unbreakable, because when the picture aligns with your purpose, nothing can stop you. Vision without discipline is a lie. Because the world doesn't hand you what you see, it hands you what you're willing to work for. The man who pictures greatness but won't wake up early will never own it. The woman who dreams of freedom but keeps procrastinating will never taste it. Discipline is the proof that you believe the vision. Discipline is showing up before the results arrive. It's sacrificing what's comfortable for what's possible. It's what Edison did after 1-0-0 failures. It's what Lincoln did after every lost election. It's what you must do every day, until the picture in your head becomes the reality in your hands, because consistency creates credibility with yourself. And when you believe your own word, you become unstoppable. Most people break promises to themselves. They say they want change, but act like yesterday. They picture more, but stay in patterns that produce less. Discipline breaks that cycle. It's not about punishment, it's about proof. It's about telling your subconscious, this picture is real and I am becoming it now. Every morning routine, every workout, every rep, every dollar saved, every book read, each one is a vote for the man or woman you're becoming. So cast the right votes, build the evidence, walk the picture. Because the one who walks the vision owns the vision, imagination is your power, belief is your fire, discipline is your engine, but action is the bridge. It is where spirit meets structure, where dreams become data, where your thoughts begin to walk on 2 feet and stare the world in the face. No amount of vision will save the man who refuses to move. No amount of clarity will rescue the woman who hides from her own strength. Faith without works is dead. You can journal the image, meditate on it, speak affirmations into the mirror, but until your feet start moving, your picture is only a wish. Action is the proof you were serious. It's what Tesla did when he left everything behind to build his ideas in a foreign land. It's what Harriet Tubman did when she walked back into danger over and over to lead others into freedom. It's what you must do when the world offers you comfort and you choose creation instead. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need 100 guarantees. You need motion. You need bold, deliberate, unreasonable motion. Because action is alignment, and aligned action, backed by vision and purpose, is the most powerful force on earth. So don't just picture the dream. Move like it's already yours. Gratitude is not weakness. It is not the domain of the soft or the spiritual only. It is the code that reprograms your entire frequency, because a man who is grateful for what he has expands. A man who is bitter about what he lacks contracts. Gratitude sharpens your focus, it polishes the lens, it tunes your vision to truth, because when you focus on what's working, you build the energy to create more. Gratitude isn't passively saying thank you. It's feeling the picture now, even before it shows up. It's becoming the future version of yourself in the present moment. It's acting like the dream has arrived, because energetically it already has. That's what the greats knew. That's what Napoleon Hill meant when he said to feel the reality of the thing you desire, and not wait for it, not plead for it, but live in the vibration of having it now. Because when you feel rich, even while broke, when you feel powerful, even in weakness, when you feel love even when alone, you are no longer chasing the picture. You are embodying it, and what you embody, you attract. What you feel, you fuel. What you honor, you expand. So live in gratitude, not just because it's good, but because it's magnetic. No picture survives unchallenged. Every dream, every vision worth anything, will be tested. Life will throw storms to see if you really want it. People will doubt you, and at times you'll doubt yourself. Things will break, doors will close. Timing will betray you, but those who adapt win. The mountain does not yield to the man. The man becomes the kind of force that makes mountains move. This is not about being rigid. It's about being relentless. The picture may be fixed, but your path must be fluid. If plan A fails, the purpose stays. You shift the how, not the why. Edison's dream didn't end when the first 1,000 filaments failed. He adapted. Again and again, until the world lit up. When life alters the terrain, you evolve. When a door shuts, you find the window. When the storm hits, you learn to sail through it, because success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about becoming bigger than failure. Your ability to adapt determines your ability to last, and those who last win. So don't ask for an easy path. Ask to be molded into the kind of being who can walk any path. Because the dream is worth it, the vision is sacred, and your evolution is the price, there will come a moment when nothing seems to be working, the progress feels invisible, the people disappear. The bank account screams for mercy, the nights stretch long, and the voice in your head gets louder than the vision in your heart. And in that moment, the only thing that will save you is resilience. Resilience is not trying again. It's refusing to die. It's what Lincoln had after 8 public failures. It's what Mandela had through 27 years in prison. It's what every single legend had when their picture was mocked, doubted, delayed. They didn't give up because they couldn't. The picture in their soul was louder than the noise around them. Resilience is the art of holding on when everything around you begs you to let go, and if you can hold the picture long enough, you will outlast the doubt. That's what no one tells you. It's not always about being faster or smarter or richer or better connected. Sometimes it's just about staying alive one more day than your obstacle. So keep going, because the darkest hours are the final tests, and those who hold the vision possess the crown. There is no wasted experience, unless you refuse to learn from it. Every failure, every betrayal, every delay, it's not punishment. It's preparation. Learning isn't academic. It's not a textbook. It's not a diploma. It is the fire that refines you into the version who deserves the vision. You don't want the dream early. You don't want the success before the strength. You don't want the results before the readiness, because if the picture arrives before you're prepared, it will crush you. That's why life gives you lessons first. It breaks your pride, sharpens your focus, deepens your humility, grows your patience. It teaches you how to stand alone, how to carry weight, how to protect the dream from enemies you didn't even know existed. Every lesson is a chisel, every heartbreak is a sculptor's hand. Every delay is shaping you into the one who can handle the picture. So don't resent the struggle, study it. Extract the wisdom, grow the muscle, earn the vision, because the man who learns is the man who lasts, and the man who lasts possesses all. To possess the picture, you must become the picture. Not think about it, not just want it, but align with it. So fully, so truthfully, that there's no separation between who you are and what you seek. You can't picture wealth and walk like poverty. You can't visualize strength and speak like a victim. You can't dream of legacy and think like someone just trying to get by. Your identity must match your destiny. That's where most people fall short. They carry powerful visions but house them in weak minds, negative self-talk, and undisciplined actions. The world doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you're aligned with. When you become the version of yourself who already owns the dream before it arrives, that's when it begins to move toward you. Because alignment activates attraction. That's what Hill meant when he said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But understand this, it's not just a mental game, it's a full life game. The man who pictures greatness must walk like it, think like it, speak like it, breathe like it, until the gap between vision and reality disappears. That's how you take possession, not by force, not by luck, but by identity. Faith is not religion. Faith is not fantasy. Faith is functional. It is the act of seeing the invisible until it becomes visible. It is the lens through which vision walks before sight shows up. It is the mental muscle that holds the dream when nothing outside you validates it. You must build that muscle, because the vision will feel impossible. It will stretch you, mock you. At times it will feel like a cruel joke, like your imagination is playing tricks on you. That's when you choose faith, not the soft kind, not the convenient kind, but the relentless, violent kind of faith. The kind that moves mountains because it refuses to see them. That's how mountains move. That's how men rise. That's how kingdoms are born, through unshakable belief in what cannot yet be seen. Because to you it's already real. Faith is the womb of creation, and what you carry in your spirit through faith, you will give birth to in your life. So speak it like it's already yours. Live like it's already yours, because faith is the price you pay before the world delivers. Conviction is not emotion. It's not hype. It's not some motivational quote in your phone. Conviction is energy plus certainty. It is inner steel. It is immovable intent. The man with conviction does not wait for motivation. He moves regardless of mood. Because conviction is not how you feel, it's who you are. Do you understand the power of that? When Carnegie stood before a world that called him crazy, when Ford refused to back down, when Disney was told that'll never work, they didn't argue, they didn't seek approval, they didn't ask for votes, they simply moved. With the kind of inner fire that bends history, conviction is contagious. People feel it, opportunities feel it. The universe feels it. Because when a man is truly convicted, everything around him begins to reorganize, roads open, resources appear, people rally not because of luck, but because of certainty. Conviction is the inner roar that says, this will happen, or I will die trying. And when you bring that energy to your picture, you possess it, not by chance, not by accident, but by law. You've seen it, you've believed it, you've walked toward it, but now you must own it. Ownership is not arrival. Ownership is assumption. It's the declaration that this dream, this life, this vision is mine, not someday, not maybe, but now. Ownership is an attitude. It's a posture. It's standing on the battlefield of life, looking your circumstances in the eye and saying, this picture belongs to me, and I will not leave without it. Because until you claim it, life won't release it. Ownership closes the gap. It pulls the dream out of the future and into the present. It's what separates those who tried from those who triumphed. You must own your power, own your picture, own your becoming. Because ownership says, I've decided, I've declared, I've drawn the picture, and I'm building it now. And then one day it happens, not all at once, not like a movie, but piece by piece, frame by frame, the world begins to reflect the picture you never let go of. The vision becomes visible, the picture becomes possession, and you realize, you built this, not because you were lucky, not because the odds were in your favor, but because you dared to believe before there was proof. You dared to see while others doubted, you dared to move while others waited. You dared to become the man, the woman, the soul worthy of the picture and the world. Finally, had no choice but to obey. That is manifestation. Not magic, not mystery, but mastery of mind, heart, discipline, and vision. You were never chasing the dream, you were becoming the dream, and now you possess it, because what you picture, what you hold with belief, what you feed with action, what you walk toward with relentless discipline, what you align with, speak about, and refuse to release that, becomes yours. So wake up, warrior. You are not here to observe life. You are here to design it. You are not here to survive the world. You are here to rebuild it. From the inside out. Your mind is a studio. Your thoughts are the brush. Your belief is the light. And the canvas is infinite. Draw it, feel it, walk it, build it, until what you picture becomes what you possess. This is not a story. This is your command. Now go take what's already yours.